Okay, you can't tell me that there's a conspiracy theory that pandas aren't real and think that I won't look into it. It has consumed me for the past 24 hours. There's a bunch of different facets of this theory. Some people think that pandas literally aren't real, they're people in suits. Other people think that pandas are lab made. But at the very least, they're so weird. Here's the stuff, we're gonna start with the stuff that's true. They pee upside down. I've never seen an animal do this. Giant pandas also poop around 40 times a day, but that's besides the point. You know how we're always trying to, it's an endangered species, everyone's always trying to get the pandas to do it? Female pandas ovulate one day out of the year. I've never heard of any other animal doing that. And if it's successful, the embryo stays in arrested development, which they think happens because the embryo is supposed to proceed to the next step once the panda goes down to a lower altitude. Side note, but also interesting, a group of pandas is called an embarrassment of pandas. Pandas are also carnivores, but they only eat bamboo. I mean, it makes sense, they're a bear, they're a carnivore, so their digestive tract is like a carnivore's where it's shorter. And also, because they are a carnivore, they don't have the enzymes to break down all of this bamboo that they're eating, so it's actually hurting them. Now, pandas are native to China. This is a whole other thing to get into, but what's really interesting is that all of the pandas you see in zoos will go back to China. So this was a US born panda that went back to China. And a lot of people talk about the diplomacy angle of this. So apparently, President Obama was going to meet with the Dalai Lama for a diplomatic visit, and the Chinese government was like, if you do that, it's really going to strain our relations. The meeting happened, and a few days after it, we had to give a panda back to the Chinese government, and away from the zoo it went. So some people think that pandas are like these political bargaining chips. What's also interesting is that there have been moments where there have been fake pandas or animals pretending to be pandas. There was this incident at a zoo in Taiwan where a sun bear was painted black and white. What's also interesting is the timeline of when pandas were discovered. So you take any other animal and you look for documentation throughout history, I don't know, cave drawings. Basically every other animal goes back thousands and thousands of years. Lion, I don't know, I was like deer. But pandas, the skin of a panda was first found in 1869. And then it wasn't until 1929 that these brothers, were the first ones to shoot a panda. But isn't that in 1929, there was a new completely animal? Anyway, then more people online, a lot of people were saying that there's a reason humans and pandas can't interact, and that's because that there's a virus, a human virus that would hurt them. But I was looking around and I couldn't find that. Then there's also all of this stuff around how much money it takes to keep these pandas alive. Literally so much money. To me, the craziest thing is ovulating one day out of the year. Have you heard of this theory? What do you think?